All right, guys, I am back. This is Dion, your 49er reporter, here on another break at work. Out here in sunny Arizona, it is finally cooling down, thank God. Y'all know who I am. I'm the 49er reporter. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you up to date on any and all things 49ers. So, I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. With that being said, let's get right into it. So we're going to move on from this first dub we done got over the Buccaneers. We played it defensively. We played an awesome game. Offensively, not so much. Looked pretty bad. We got a couple of things we got to clean up, and we got to get a lot better on offense. Tevin Coleman did go down with an ankle injury. There has not been an update on that yet. Once there is, I will go ahead and tap in and let you guys know what's going on with that. But what I can do is I can go ahead and get into the Cincinnati Bengals and let y'all know exactly what's going on with them and what we should be keeping an eye out for and how things are going to work against them. So we'll start off with this. Offensively, the Bengals put up 20 points in total against the Seattle Seahawks. But they also had 3 red zone trips that yielded no points at all. They controlled the ball with time of possession of 35 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's well more than half, a little bit more than half the game. More total yards and more first downs, almost doubling Seattle's total, and they still lost. The rushing attack was non-existent with a combined total of 34 yards rushing. That was between Giovanni Bernard, Joe Mixon, and they got another guy, I just can't remember his name right now. Mixon left the game with an ankle injury and did not return. They did have 4 fumbles. 2 of those 4 fumbles were by Andy Dalton himself. Seattle sacked Dalton 4 times and had 9.5 tackles for a loss. What does all this mean for us? We will have a field day creating pressure and getting to Dalton. Our defense is similar to what Seattle does, save for our wide 9 approach at times. We had 3 interceptions in our games, 2 pick sixes to go along with 3 sacks and 6 tackles for a loss. So we shouldn't have any problems getting to Dalton and creating problems in the backfield. The only people to worry about are Dalton, Giovanni Bernard, John Ross, and Joe Mixon on offense. If we can keep them in check, this will be an easy W. Now, the one thing I want to say about John Ross is the man had 158 yards on 6 or 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Now, the issue that we're going to have with Ross is Ross has blazing speed, so he's lightning quick. I mean, this dude take off. If he get out in that open field, he's gone. He's their Marquise Goodwin, basically. Like we have Keith, they have John Ross. So I will tell you that it's going to suck if we've got to try to catch this guy in the open field because I don't think we have any DBs that are fast enough to keep up with him. So if we lock down John Ross, they don't really have any other viable receiving options. Tyler Eifert stay on IR, so we ain't worried about him. As far as the running backs, we have to see what's going on with Joe Mixon. If we don't have to face Joe Mixon, it's not that bad. You still have to be a little bit leery of Giovanni Bernard because Bernard does need to be respected, and he has done some good things in the game, as far as in the NFL in general. But at that same time, he wound up taking a backseat to Joe Mixon, so that says that they believe in Mixon a little bit more than they believe in Bernard. So the next thing we got to worry about possibly is their defense, but I'm not too worried about it. Sorry if I sound a little rough, y'all. I was screaming my head off at that Niner game yesterday. I went out and watched it with all the Niner fans and all the people that was out there, man. It was actually a beautiful game. And it's a sight to see when Niner fans get together, man, because we go hard. We go hard in the paint. We go hard for our squad. So defensively, Cincinnati had 4 sacks. They didn't have any interceptions. 233 yards given up as total, as a defense as far as from, what they allowed Seattle to get to. The key players that we have to worry about on the Cincinnati Bengals defense are going to be their DB Drake or Patrick. Then they've got 2 linemen. They've got this guy Hubbard, and of course we all know about Carlos Dunlap. So those are some household names that we have to keep an eye on and keep track of. Our offensive line wasn't atrocious. Jimmy G only took 1 sack last week, well, just yesterday. But the issue that we face is that we weren't creating, good things for our offense. We had 3 touchdowns called back, y'all, on penalties. You know, we could have put up almost 50 burger on them cats had we just focused and made sure that we were doing the right thing. So this game against the Bengals, we got to go in there, hit them in the mouth, hit them hard, and we got to get the rushing attack running. Like I said, once I get an update on Tevin Coleman, I will gladly go ahead and update you guys. But as far as right now, it's a simple situation. Our offense has to get way better. We've got to do a lot better than what we did when we played against the Bucks, because we were almost non-existent. Jimmy G had like 166 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. That interception was a pick 6. So we've got to be a lot more, efficient when it comes to that. The rushing attack did not look very good, but we got time. We got time to game plan for, Cincinnati, and to be able to make things happen. So keys to the game for us when we play Cincinnati. Simply and honestly, it's very easy. Go ahead and contain John Ross. Make sure that we don't let that rushing game go ahead and, get on to us, because honestly, our wide 9 approach is susceptible to runs up the middle, which is what the Bucks were doing to us yesterday when they were playing us. So we have to just be mindful of that. So if we go ahead and shut down their passing game and we shut down John Ross, they don't have anybody else. AJ Green ain't playing, and we don't have to worry about the Bengals for the rest of the year, because all we're going to do is play them once. So then basically, sorry, y'all, this Fly is just not having it today. He really trying to interrupt. So Fly must be like a Seahawks fan or a damn Cardinals fan. But period, point blank, as long as we go ahead and we get those guys locked down, we lock down Bernard, we get back there, we get Nick, and we get D, and we get Buck, and we get everybody in on sacking, Andy Dalton, and keep that pressure going, then we should have a damn good game, and we shouldn't have anything to worry about. And then on on offense, as long as our tackles and our line can hold up, start creating a little bit better run lanes, make sure that we stretch the zone and keep things going in the right direction. Jimmy can have a little more time, and Jimmy's got to work on his timing, y'all. That's the one thing I'm gonna say about this. This is more of a preview for us against the Bengals, but Jimmy's got to work on his timing, because he was off, man. He's putting balls behind receivers. He was throwing it too high. It's just, he's got to continue to develop that chemistry with these guys, and that's why some people were going a little crazy and going off the deep end, calling for Nick to be the starter. There were a few small people out there saying that, but I could understand where they're coming from, because he has the timing and the rhythm down with these guys, so he already knows where they're going to be. But at the same time, that was a good first game for him to knock the rust off, and for us to be able to get an easy W. So next week, we got to clean up the penalties on offense, make sure that we get going in the right direction, and we should get ourselves another easy W and start the season 2-0. Then all we have to do after that is come right back home to the good old Bay, open up the home, Levi Stadium against the Steelers, and we should be solid, baby. I'm your 49er reporter. I got to get back to work. Once I get an update on Tevin Coleman and his ankle injury, we'll see what happens. They did say possibly he would be out for a couple weeks, but we still got Matt Breida. We still got Raheem Mostert. And if I'm not mistaken, Jeff Wilson possibly can be called up if we need him. Other than that, y'all have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day. Thank y'all for continuing to watch and support the channel. I'm always give y'all the real. I'm always give it to you raw, straight, no chaser. Y'all have a good day.